Boom! From the Frying Can Ranch in Athens, Texas. Get a little warmer out, and we got up to 105 heat index yesterday. So the rain is gone, and now we are bone dry, as in dry. Right. So what do I have today that we want to talk about is yes, I know I've been talking smack, but we're gonna go over a couple of smacks here. Is the M17 Sauer. So this is what currently is in use by our military, I understand, and it does come in a box. So what do we get in this box? Now I've shot this one time, and so far I was impressed. Is you get a very good instruction manual. It tells you all about it. And we'll pop this out of here. You have the pistol, and then you have, separate from the pistol is, come on out of there, you dirty dog. There it is your mag, and we're going to go in detail. So if I was to, let me set this over here for just 1 second, because that is going to stay in the box. If you were to put this whole thing together, it's going to look like this. That's how it's going to look. I hope that's not too dark for you. And we're going to spin it around, let you see it that way. And we're going to come around this way and kind of look at the business end. So real quick, let me turn back my pages here. We're going to go over some facts. This is the Sauer M17 pellet pistol, and this is the one that comes in the coyote tan. I believe you can get them in a black and things like that. It is a blowback type action. This shoots a .177 caliber pellet. Now, I would advise using like wad cutters. You don't want to put a long type pellet in there, and you'll see why in a second. And I think this is why in a lot of reviews people say it jams. But at any rate, moving right along, we get in about 300 feet per second. The overall length is 8 inches, and the barrel length is 4.60. It does come with a 20-round belt-fed mag. We will get to that. It has fixed sights on it, but you can order this, or it comes with a little wrench, I believe, to remove this rear sight, and you can get a SIG red dot that fits right in there. It's pricier, trust me, it's pricier, but you can get it that way. And it can be field stripped. I have not field stripped it yet, and that might be a separate video. So let's go over some fun facts. So I'm going to assume, from dealing with things in the past, this is going to be your takedown lever right here, on here. This does have an ambidextrous safety on each side. Now, with some of these on the last shot, the slide will lock back. These do not do that. It just lets go. But it's got a very positive, sound to it. Now, you've got some stippling right here for caulking, some stippling right here. And it does have that piece, that piece is stippled right along on the front of the deal. You got a wonderful rail right here for putting a laser or something on it. I can see that happening in the future. And your slide release is, your mag release is right here on this side. So, to go over a few details on how this is done, and I'm going to try to get it as visual as possible. Always hold your hand under your mag when you let them go, because some of these things really fly. This is not one of them. So this is everything. The CO2 and everything goes into this. Now on the very front of this is a button. And when you push that button, this comes out. Now, it's got like what looks like, oh, it's hard to see, like little wheels on the bottom. You'll see a catch, and you're going to see an angle. When you put this back in, you want that angle to be facing forward, and then it clicks in. So that's how you put that back in. Now, to load the magazine, we're going to pull it out. We're going to lay the mag down. We're going to open, or attempt to open, this little door, like so, and you will see your belt. Now, the way to do this is you want to put your pellets in nose first. So you've got to get it like that, and just get one in there and press it in. And you can get another one and press it in. And then you can just kind of use your fingernail to kind of rotate your belt until you get to the next two. And then you can just, whoops, I'm upside down. Drop it in her nose first, and then just press it on in there. Get the next one, and down the line. And then once you've got that completely loaded, you will close your door. You will pick up your mag, like I said. Whoops, see, I'm backward. It won't go in the other way. You want this angle piece facing forward, and you click it in. It should look just like this. Now, we're going to take the mag back out because I'm going to load it up for a shooting review. The other thing I want to talk about is your CO2. So let me find a blind one. You're always going to put a little drop of oil on there. On the back of this magazine is a lever, and you're going to pop that open and bring it all the way down, like so. What did I do wrong here? I'm on the side. Okay, so that's down. You're going to feed your CO2 in the slot. Oh, you got to drop it. I'm sorry. You got to feed your CO2 in this way, then drop it in. Fold that up, and then it shall press your CO2 right into place. When you want to remove your CO2, you're going to pull this lever, and then you want to tilt it a little forward, and your CO2 should, whoops, I might have to do it opposite. Yeah, it'll drop out from the front, like so. So to put it in, feed it up, and let me turn it back around here. Drive it in, drop it, and push your lever in, like so, and that will puncture your CO2. Now, this thing's charged at this point, so when you put it back into the gun, you want to make sure that your hand grips here. When you want to put it in the gun, give it a really good, because if you don't, it'll try to pop back out on you, because that releases the air into the valves on the inside, and then you can bring it back out. But remember, just give it a good, make sure it's seated real well. You bring it back out, and then when you want to remove your CO2, we're going to pop our little lever again, and it's going to come up and out. Tilt it this way, and the CO2 will fall out. And that's how you do all of this contraption. Now today, when I do a shooting review, I'm going to be using these right here. These work really well. I know I've talked some smack about SIG. I really have, because I've had the big long one that you put the 88 gram in. It lasted a while. I had to send it back to SIG. I got it back, and I got maybe 288 grams out of it, and then it was finished. It was done. It was just done. And they put it together with some really rotty stuff too. They said they didn't, but they did. But I just reviewed a CO2 BB pistol that was a SIG, and that worked quite successfully. And I'm hoping that, give me 1 second here. From what I've got out of this one, I haven't had a big problem with it. So there you go. The SIG M17. And so I don't know if I went over everything, but yeah, I think I did. The only thing they didn't talk about was the overall weight and the specs, but I'm guessing this thing's a pretty hefty. Feels like a good solid 2¼ to 2½ pounds. It feels like the real deal. This all down here is pretty much plastic. You do get a metal trigger, and the top mag is metal, just like the real deal. Now, I had to aim a little high on my cans with these sights. I couldn't do much about that. I think with a red dot it would work very, very well. But it's a little large grip. But like I said, some people like to put their finger here to reduce recoil. It's got a good little lip to it, and it's got a good sight picture. You got some really good dots. I know that's hard to see here, and then on the front sight. So you can acquire a sight picture fairly quick with it. Now, bear in mind, this is a plinking gun, and it would make a good training pistol for someone that's never handled a firearm before, maybe younger people, wives, or even guys that's never handled a gun. Or if you've handled a gun, you can get a ton of practice out of this thing cheap, like really cheap. So get some CO2s, get some pellets, and you can really have at it. Now, I reviewed I believe a Walther it was, and then a Glock that had this belt-fed magazine. They're kind of chunky, but now this one is pretty smooth. It's not near as chunky. It doesn't wear your finger out like the other two do. So we're gonna let you look at it a little bit. There's none of that really crazy white printing on here. There's some, like the SIG logo right there, and I believe somewhere on here. No, I didn't. These are made in Japan. It's got a little warning thing stamped down the side, but it's not that ugly white. Again, I might make a takedown video later on it, but I don't want to do that as it sits, because I'd have to have someone holding the camera or something so I could show you how to do it. I'm not set up for that. So, without further ado, there you go. So, we're going to get this one posted, and then I'm going to let that upload. In the meantime, I'm going to make a shooting review. I've got some cans that I actually, about, 25, 30 feet off. That's what they're good for. I actually taped them to the box, so maybe they won't go flying around, the wind blowing them off. That's been kind of a challenge where I'm at right now. I might build me a barrier around it to maybe stop some of that. Eventually, I want to get another shell like I had before, where I could just hang them down off the wire and blast them, but we're going to get there eventually. So that's how we do it at the Flying Can Ranch, and we're going to be right back.